So how was your surf today?
I actually didn't go today,
What?
which is crazy. I slept in because I've had a couple like really early mornings in a row,
So how was your
and
surf?
then just got back from school.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I actually made it out. I haven't been out, been surfing very much, but I made it out and got a couple fun ones at the harbor. So that was
Oh,
nice.
sick.
Nobody was there. So that was
Yeah,
the best part of it. But hello, everybody. Thank you for joining Pro Surf Blog today for some epic surf news. I'm here with Jack Van Wagoner. We're going to talk about a couple big swell waves that you caught recently, January 6th. How you doing, Jack?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm doing good, man. I got a surf in, so better than most. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to share the Instagram post that Jack posted, and we'll kind of get started with that. Let's see here. Okay, so this is clip one right here. You got that on the. Oops, sorry about that. Shoot, man, I'm kooking it, everybody. Hold on, everybody. Almost there. Here we go, Jack. Sorry. Okay, so this first clip here, that is from Brad Jacobson. Brad Jacobson's out of LA, right?
Yeah, I think he's like kind of center near El Porto.
Yeah,
So
South
he
Bay.
comes up there a lot.
Yeah, he puts in a lot of work, I see. And that so he took a trip. He chased the swell down himself, I imagine, that day.
Yeah,
So right here, I mean, it's a trip too, is because what people don't realize is when you're shooting at blacks, you're kind of up a little bit higher than the wave. So it kind of makes the wave look a little smaller. But
yeah.
these waves definitely have some consequence, I can tell. So right here, you got your backside grab. Looks like you're surfing a shorty, right?
Oh, I'm actually on a 7.6, so kind of like a minigun.
Okay, sick.
It was actually handed down to me by my old surf coach, and he was like, I'm not gonna ride this anymore. If you want it, you can have it. So I was like, sweet.
Wow, that was cool. So what it looks like you're wearing a leash on this one.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because it's kind of like shortboard style because the waves are so big. You're kind of in that mode, and that place is just pounding. So the second clip here we got from Socal.Surfer, which I think he's a guy who kind of focuses on blacks. Is that right?
Yeah, he films a lot down there.
So this is my fear at blacks right here, like a wave like this, where sometimes you come over that ledge when you drop in, and you're not really sure what you're going to get.
Yeah,
and you got stuffed right here.
yeah. No, that one was definitely crazy. Like I pulled in,
Yeah.
and then like I was traveling, and I thought there was like kind of a chance I could make it out, and then the whole wave just closes out, and I just get like sent straight to the sand.
And that's like there really is no like kicking out too at blacks. It seems like once you're in there, like that's it, you're in, you're committed.
Yeah, no, it's like once you're in the wave, it's either you have to straighten out or just try and race it down the line.
Yeah, that is sick. So I'm going to go to clip number 3. So clip number 3 is my favorite. This is from JRamilVisuals. So what I like about this is I like that drop in was nice and kind of chill. You just kind of had to get around it, and then like again, you can't see, but that barrel looked like it was probably a couple feet overhead.
Yeah, no, it was a really good solid wave. Like definitely one of the biggest barrels I've ever been in.
That's a trip. And I noticed from Pops too, he was throwing shout outs to WesCollins.Training.
Yeah, so I work out with him, and we also do a lot of breath hold training too.
Right.
And so I had actually had a workout with him the night before, and we did a lot of breath holds.
Okay.
And it helped a lot for this day because I was getting like 10-20 second breath like hold downs.
Yeah, that place is crazy. Yeah, I feel like I almost died there, but it's weird because it kind of has that look like a soft San Diego break, like most breaks are in San Diego. They're really nice and they're just kind of soft, but these camera angles definitely don't do justice to the kind of beating that you'll take over there.
Yeah.
So when you're on the inside, well, and I don't know, what your strategy is over there, Jack, but, I imagine from time to time you get caught, either after a wave or at some point in the session where you're more like, in the impact zone.
Yeah.
So what's your strategy at that point?
So getting stuck on the inside, it's just like, there's really nothing you can do. Like on that big of a wave, you really can't duck dive it. So it's just, you have to ditch your board and just dive under. But I just like try and stay calm. It actually helps. Like if I see a big wave coming, I just kind of like start to laugh.
Right.
Because it like helps me not panic.
Yeah, I think that panic takes up a lot of oxygen for sure.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of thing is like, you're going to tumble. You're probably going to get like, a little discombobulated, kind of out of sorts. You probably, I imagine, rest and mellow out enough under the water that you actually figure out which way's up.
Yeah. So if like when I get tumbled by like a wave that big, like I've learned that there's no point in trying to fight it because you're never gonna win. And so I just kind of let the wave like do what it wants with me. Like I let it tumble me and stuff and just kind of let my body relax because you save so much oxygen. And then like once I feel it like start to release its hold, then I start to swim up.
Yeah, and it's what you were saying too. I imagine where the training comes in. And I think I followed Wes Collins for quite some time. He's a pretty buff dude, right?
Yeah, it's pretty big.
Yeah. I remember he does a lot of traditional training, weight training, and other kinds of training. So but anyways, I think, like you said, just the fact that you were actually, took a moment out of your day or your night and kind of hung out and just thought about breathing and worked on it probably made you feel tons more confident when you actually paddled out.
Yeah, no, for sure. Because it was big. It's definitely the biggest surf I've ever been in. But like it was funny. I felt super comfortable being out there.
So what what was Surfline calling it? Do you remember? And what do you how did you size it up?
Surfline was calling it 15 to 18, I think, and I would say it's probably the right call.
Okay.
But there was like one set that came through, and like I know like Stab posted it, and it was like all over the internet of like the one dude going over the falls, and like that set that came through was definitely had like a couple of like 20 footers in it.
Oh my gosh, man. Yeah, it's weird because if you look at this wave, it looks, I don't know, 10, 8, 10, I don't know, but yeah, the angle on the camera is definitely hiding a lot of that size.
Yeah, if you actually go back, one of my earlier posts, I actually has a different angle of it, like from the beach.
Yeah,
and it better shows the size.
Okay.
It's the bottom one on the bottom right.
This guy right here?
That one, yeah.
Okay.
So that's the same wave, just a different angle.
Wow. Yeah. So that person's on the sand. Yeah. Who's videoing that?
That's Fryy Photography.
Fryy. Okay. Do you know where Fry's out of? There's so many different people hustling.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're just based in San Diego.
Yeah, if you live close to Blacks as a videographer, you pretty much don't have to do much.
Yeah.
Just get to the beach and get some coffee and donuts or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Brad Jacobson was probably super stoked. And on that note, Brad Jacobson does have a full-length edit from that day. So if anybody who's watching wants to go to YouTube and check it out, I actually did see that, some of that. I missed a lot of this swell, so it was super painful. I was like peeking at content, but not looking too much.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to be sad. So when you're charging big waves like this day, or just in general, like when you hear a big swell's coming in, like who's your road dogs? Like who do you like usually kind of look to try to schedule a paddle out with?
So this day I actually went with one of my buddies, Kai Williams, and he's just another Carlsbad surfer. I go to school with him, and I'm in a ton of his classes. We're really good friends, and so he's really good surfer as well. He's like one of the top surfers in San Diego for sure. And so he charges big waves with me, so we saw this
Mhm.
swell coming. We didn't even know if like Blacks was going to be surfable. We're like, we're just going to go down there and check it out. We
Right.
thought it might be too big, but then like there was a couple good ones coming through, and like we were actually standing like up at the glider point,
Mm-hmm.
and we were looking down like at like Middle Peak,
Right.
and we were like, oh, it looks fun there. So like originally our plan was to go out there,
Uh-huh.
and we started to paddle out, and he got lucky and found like this little channel, and he somehow made it out. But then I just like kept getting wrecked by all the sets.
That's the
So I,
worst.
yeah, so I actually had to come in and walk down to South Peak and like paddle out south of South Peak and then make the super long paddle back up.
That, I'm glad you at least fessed up to it, man, because I mean, definitely, I think the next time I charge a big day there, I'm going to be more okay with walking a little bit. And so Middle Peak, was that breaking some rights, or what was happening over there?
So we actually made it out to there and realized it was just too gnarly and too all over the place.
Right.
So we actually ended up just moving down to South Peak, and that's where I got this wave.
That left is a beast. I mean, yeah, it's crazy the way it comes in. I mean, this day looks a little kind of, a little spread out, or I don't know about spread out, but I know like sometimes it comes in like a frog mouth, like
Yeah.
super crazy. So you took the dirt path down, or did you take the cement path down to get down there?
We walked the trail from the glider port.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that's a little, I've only gone the cement route, and I was going to ask you, like, how many breaks do you take on the way back up?
Oh, yeah, so it's a long walk up. um I'm usually able to power it out, just make
Right.
my way up, but it's definitely tiring.
Yeah, I have to fess up. I probably took about 5 breaks on the way up. I turn around and act like I'm looking at the view, just so I could play it off a little bit. And then so that same day, which is a trip, because I interviewed Mitch Farner and Liam O'Callahan, and they did the same tour you did on this day. You went to Blacks after this, yeah? Or I'm sorry, to Swamis, rather.
Yeah, so yeah, after we got done surfing there, we paddled out to Swamis and got a couple fun ones there.
Okay, so then you were basically now hunting down right bowls.
Yep.
And let's see this one right here. This is on Kirk's account. Big old wraparound. That was a nice setup. So that was kind of like a little like kind of rest session almost, because it's
Yeah,
a
no,
little softer.
it was definitely a bit easier than Blacks. Easier paddle out.
Whoa, look at that. Oh yeah, sick. And then a stall. Look at this. I love I love the butt pump, and like the nice, like, kind of on rail carve underneath his board.
Yeah.
And then he kind of did possibly look like he did a solid at the end of that, and kind of, dropped down deep, and then, saw that you raced ahead. Yeah, I was that guy the other day, and somebody was not happy with me. It was at the harbor, but yeah, I got the board kicked at me, and yeah, so and then I got, yelled at after that. I'm coming back from an injury, so I'm a total kook right now. It's a trip.
Oh, dang.
So I had to make one of those executive decisions where I had to go, because I'd been waiting, and the harbor's more kind of peaks everywhere, and so somebody was trolling by after about 30 minutes. I just had to go, but yeah, he was pretty bummed. So sorry to that guy, I guess. So yeah, basically, did you go back out, or was that your wave in?
I think that was my wave in, actually. Yeah.
Okay.
Sir, I was out there for like 3 hours.
Yeah, the crowd is a trip. I mean, so in 3 hours, I mean, how many waves do you think you scored?
It was really crowded, so I probably got like maybe like 8 good waves in like that 3-hour span.
Okay, well, that's a few, but yeah, exactly. I mean, you're waiting like 20 minutes a wave.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm like so much older, and I'm still trying to work on my patience, and Yeah, because you definitely have to be patient, and it makes you want to kind of get out of position, right? Because you almost want to come in a little more because you're kind of getting desperate. But if you do that, then you're not going to get the set wave.
Yeah. And you just
Yeah,
get smoked by the sets.
yeah, that's a sick wave right there. And so, so it's a trip is, I mean, it seems like every year, every 2 or 3 years, like it's like the 50-year swell or the 100-year swell, right? Let me unshare that right there. Yeah, so it's like always like the 100-year swell, it seems like. This swell definitely looked big. I missed it, so I can't speak to it, but I'm usually charging down every swell that they're talking big on. I mean, in your experience, how did this swell size up to some of the other big swells?
It's definitely the biggest that I've seen in Southern California for
You're
sure.
hurting me, man. You're hurting me. You could have said, well, it's not that big. It was all right. I mean, 15 foot. I mean, if you're saying Surfline was pretty on it with their size, and that sounds pretty much like one of the bigger swells for sure.
Yeah.
And so going forward, I mean, obviously you charged blacks this time. So are you like, are big waves on your radar, or is this kind of like, hey, I'll just kind of get it when it comes? Or
Yeah, so it's probably like what you said, like I'm just gonna try and get it when it comes. Like I'm not really gonna be like chasing the big wave swells at Jaws or anything, or at least not yet.
Okay. I mean, that's a whole mission for sure. I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, I definitely kind of don't think I'm gonna make it to that level, or that kind of like, well, you got to have jet ski assist, you have to have the right
Yeah.
gear. I mean, yeah, it's kind of a lifestyle, for sure. So that is super sick. Everybody too, as I'm continuing on here, but be sure to check out Jack and Reid's interview we did just about a week ago. That's live or available on YouTube from the live session we did. So in that last interview, Jack, you were saying that, you might be trying to like, maybe fly the coop a little bit and maybe head to college somewhere, maybe out of town.
Yeah.
Slow. And you were mentioning possibly slow. So when I think about that, I think like, okay, so I mean, even training in school, I mean, San Diego, I don't know, I've lived from LA, OC, San Diego in my time. And so I love San Diego, and slow is definitely awesome. Central Cal gets a lot of good marks. How many boards can you take with you?
No idea. That's something I'll just have to like find out if I get accepted.
Right.
So yeah, we'll just see when it happens.
Okay. Yeah. Cause it seems like, yeah, or like surfing club, like would you join a club out there, or would you just kind of stick with the club that you're rocking with? Or
these are all questions I haven't really thought about yet. I
okay.
mean, I'd love to join their surf team up there, but
Okay. All
I
right.
don't
Fair
know.
enough. Yeah, fair enough, man. Well, definitely best of luck on the college setup. Definitely super cool to see those waves, see you charging. I'm going to convince Jack to do a shoot with us somewhere local. I don't know, Carlsbad, Oceanside. So be sure to look out for that as well. It's funny. So we saw you on the 7.6 right there. I'm usually looking at Jack's longboard videos. So, in my head, I'm assuming longboard, but I guess we'll have to find out when that time comes as well, Jack. We'll try to hook it up soon. So everybody, I want to say thanks a lot for joining in again. Super stoked to talk with Jack and learn about what he's doing there, getting loose on big days. So yeah, Jack, thanks a lot. And we'll see you soon, bro.